We live in a world where a large chunk of our personal and organizational data are online. It has become a necessity to protect this data against unauthorized access or criminal use. Global connectivity and the use of cloud services to store data have led to the rapid increase of cyber attacks, and cybercriminals are getting more and more resilient in their craft. Cybersecurity is a collection of all the practices involved in protecting networks, devices, and data from damage, loss, or unauthorized access. Let us look at a classic case of cyber attack. Meet Amanda. Amanda is a very successful media personality with thousands of followers on Instagram. But one morning, Amanda woke up to find that she had been locked out of her Instagram account, her verified account. Can you imagine? She checks her feed only to find out that her photos and uploads were being deleted and new controversial ones were being uploaded. It dawned on her that someone had indeed stolen her Instagram account, and she tried for long weeks to recover her account, submitting endless files and forms, going from one help page to another, but her efforts seemed useless. She got no helpful response. How do you think this happened? Amanda did not have the two-factor authentication enabled. Also, she did not lock down her privacy settings to prevent people from using her Instagram account to gather information about her. So you see, Amanda could have prevented all this from happening through cybersecurity. There are many ways to implement cybersecurity, and it is dependent on the kind of network in use and the type of cyber attack that the system is prone to. Let us look at the most common types of cyber attacks. Phishing is one of the most common cyber attacks, where an attacker tries to trick the victim into handing over valuable information such as credit card details, passwords, and so on. Phishing attacks usually come in the form of an email from a seemingly legitimate organization or service provider. Malware is another common cyber attack which refers to malicious software that can perform a variety of malicious tasks. Examples of malware include viruses, which spread throughout the system's files by inserting copies of itself into other programs to cause harm to the system. Trojans, which mislead the user of its true intentions by disguising as a normal application only to run as a malicious code when executed or opened. Spyware, which steals confidential data without the user's knowledge. Worms, which act like viruses and often originate from email attachments or pop ups. And ransomware, which is a malware created to encrypt the victim's files and then ask them to pay a ransom to get the decryption key. Another form of cyber attack is the man in the middle attack, also known as the eavesdropping attack. This happens when an attacker intercepts the connection between the user and the network or server and acts as a bridge between them. This way, the attacker will be able to tamper with the data being transmitted across the network. Password attacks happen when an attacker cracks a user's password. They are able to do this using various password cracking tools, which may try out different common passwords or try out all the possible alphanumeric combinations. A denial of service attack happens when an attacker floods the target system with traffic in order to exhaust their resources, or the attacker sends information that triggers a crash. If the attacked system is a server, it becomes overwhelming for the server to cater to incoming requests, which leaves the legitimate service request unattended. An SQL injection attack is specific to SQL databases. It happens when an attacker manipulates a standard SQL query, and it is done by injecting a malicious code into a vulnerable web application to execute queries that will modify, create, read, or delete the data stored in the database. To help prevent all these cyber attacks, here are some cybersecurity practices to implement. 1. Use strong passwords that are difficult to crack and change your passwords regularly. Avoid the use of overcomplicated passwords that are not easy to remember, and do not use the same password twice. 2. Use anti-malware software, firewall, or other network security tools to protect your system. 3. Be wary of opening emails and attachments from unknown senders. Check the emails for significant errors and loopholes before trusting them. 4. Update your system and your applications regularly to rid them of vulnerabilities that attackers may exploit. 5. When using a public Wi-Fi, be sure to use a VPN to secure the connection. 6. Enable multi-factor authentication methods to secure your accounts. 7. For mobile users, install apps only from trusted sources and make sure that your device is updated regularly. 8. Create backup copies of your data in an off-site location. This is to enable you restore lost or corrupt data with a recently performed backup. You've learned what cybersecurity is, and now it is easy to see why it is in high demand. Here is a quick quiz to test how much you've learned. A user got locked out of his system and was asked by the attacker to pay some money to regain control of his system. What type of cyber attack is this? Remember to leave the answers to this quiz in the comments section and any other questions you might have on how cybersecurity works. Thank you for watching this video and see you in the next one.